Okay,
performance mode.
and we're live. You know what? I haven't went into performance mode in a long time. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We're back. Quick last session review. The party, after uh, 2 years, 2.5 years of searching for this guy, came in contact with their one of their arch rivals, perhaps even the mini boss of the entire campaign. The how do you say that in Gen Z? I don't know. The secondary main character? I don't know. Guy with really bad main character syndrome. The CEO of the mini bosses. Anyway, I'm learning. I'll figure it out. So they took him out. They tried to engage him in the bad guy monologue. They're like, "Hey man, tell us stuff," and he was just like, "No, guys, you're," basically was like disgusted. He tried to get them not to fight him, and they called his bluff. And then you guys just went down there and fucking murked his ass super hard. He was kind of a bitch, and you guys won, and then left, and it was very dissatisfying. It's like, is that it?
You
Is
might
that
have,
it?
but I don't think anybody won.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You guys killed him, but nobody won. You got some cool items, which we're between this session and next. I'll make sure I get that organized. But now you guys are back in this temple, and some weird stuff happened, and I'm gonna let Kovanen open up because I feel like that's probably the best way for us to go right now. So go ahead, Kovanen, take the stage.
Uh, well, after gently setting Zazie down on the stone bench and realizing panikedly that she was having out of body experience again, just as she had previously done with Kavanen, with the little scar crystal thing that's like 5 feet away. We know what's happening, it's happened before. He's like, I'm panicking, we should do something. And he gets zapped away, teleported away into the key, leaving the key and its necklace just kind of clattering to the stone floor of the temple. Uh, Several minutes pass. Several minutes. He's not there. And then suddenly he is again.
I do have a question.
Okay,
At what point does Zazie come round?
that's a good question.
So if you read the text, so this is a little bit of back note here. It's by the time you're gone and come back, it's as though you were never really unconscious at all. So basically, by the time he's disappearing into the key and setting you down, you're coming to, and then he's bing, key falls on the ground. It's key just falls,
What the fuck?
and
Oh, that's true. I remember that Rose and Lucian barely had time to
right,
react to whatever.
and then
last time
Kovanen's gone for however long that was, which was probably at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I left it at several.
Yeah. And then he's back.
Yeah, he poofs back into existence, right there on the floor of the temple. Does he have the letter in hand?
That's a great question. I would say so. I would say so.
All right. Well then, he poofs back into existence, sitting on the temple floor, as if that's where he was the whole time, in the key, with a letter in hand, penned very handsomely by hand. He looks upset.
Alright.
Kovanen?
Oh yes. Hello, I'm back. I didn't know that was going to happen. Apologies. Are you all right? Is everyone all right?
We can talk about my thing later. Are
Yeah,
you
well,
okay?
But I'm fine. I've learned a few things. That I guess I've learned. I don't know what I've learned. Holds up the letter for emphasis. Veer wrote this. After he wrote it after, you know, the stabbing, the death part. And before he was whisked away to the eternal service of, he reads a letter. The keeper that he
How?
had sworn his soul to would seem that he had made quite the pact, and upon his death he was pulled away and claimed. I don't know by what means he was waylaid within the key, but he was. I saw him. I gave chase, but he disappeared and forced me to not be able to follow him. So I don't know anything else besides this letter.
I'm not sure how, considering I thought I burned his body.
I think I know how.
Well, like I said, pact, overlord, powerful entities, souls. It was him, but it's
Oh.
didn't have to be him because it was him.
Oh, I don't like that part.
So, in other words, a very similar situation to what happened when I was in contact with Rose's brother.
I
Fair
guess.
point.
I don't know if it's the same thing because I think he wrote this letter on his way to the place where he would, have his soul eternally, whatever, by an overlord. Like yes.
No, that needs to wait till later. I just yes, that is a decent idea. That's a decent
Can I have
what's the
everyone
word?
roll religion and/or history? Sorry for the interruption.
Theory. That's the word. That's the word. Theory. It's a decent theory. I do have to ask, DM, would this proc the advantage on my religion?
I would say it would actually probably proc on history for library use.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
that's a nat 20.
Damn.
Okay, so Rose and Lucian, you guys would both know the Keeper is one of the Dark Six. Kovanen, you may have heard that at one point, but you really don't know it. That's not really in your knowledge base. Maybe not even heard it. Zazie, you would know from some of your readings that the Keeper is a godlike entity, not unlike some of the other higher powers. But the Dark Six and the Sovereign Host, are kind of their own thing. You have overlords, which are, trapped godlike entities that are trapped in Kyber. The Dark Six and the Host are whatever they are, but the Keeper is specifically like a keeper of the dead and makes pacts with people to allow them to do certain things and then claims their souls in payment after they die.
Okay, so like a sort of like a guide to the dead, Charon type thing, but also making deals with people, stealing their
Mhm.
souls, etc., right?
I mean, most of the teachings that I know, it's when we die, we go to him, and what happens after is up to him. I mean, I know a little of his worship. I mean, he's he's a complicated god, at least from what I've been taught.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if I would exactly say that he's a god.
yeah, on your end there with your knowledge of the keeper, you'd know that a lot of people, it's kind of like the devil, or
Mhm.
Hades or something like that. A lot of people view him as, you know, I mean, he is God in a way in Eberron, um, but not as the sovereigns aren't. But I guess it's kind of a nuanced thing where a lot of people definitely do believe that everybody passes through his judgment, but that's not necessarily the thing. Um, I made my wife dinner and she's like very happy right now. Hold on. I'm glad
what
you
you
guys didn't
want,
hear that.
Mr. B.
She's sitting here asking me to heat it up and she's like yelling like a little baby.
Aw.
Anyway,
Okay, to be fair, I do the same thing to my wife.
yeah. So anyway, so the keeper does do that, but it's more like the keeper's actually kind of an asshole. It's not like, hey, I
Mhm.
weigh the good and the bad and things like that, or at least from what I've read recently from KB. It's more like, hey, they're this old god entity that kind of
Oh yeah.
almost like one one of the overlords, but is separate because they actively fought against the overlords. Bad guy on a different side. Anyway, yeah, so not necessarily like Hades. So we can get into the finer details later.
TLDR, he's a complicated divine figure, like most of the sovereigns are.
Right, right. But being one of the Dark Six, most of the belief system is cast in a dark way. And he's the keeper of the dead. So anyway, my fault.
So anyway, there's a lot of other things that are in this letter. What's happening right now? Here though, wasn't Lucy your
Anchor.
father? And...
Yeah, you see Lucian's dad talking to his grandmother right now at the other end of the chamber, silently, and he's kind of talking to a couple of different CEOs, kind of rallying them, and they are rushing out. And he seems to be patiently watching you guys while you're having this conversation. Lucian, you can tell that he's ready to move on.
Okay, so question, did we get a chance to, disguise the fact that very literally Kovanen blipped in and out, or out and then back in? Or would we not have gotten a chance to, hide that fact? Because I don't think that's something
I don't think
wants people to know.
I think as from what has happened and the speed that everything is moving around you guys, whether anyone noticed or not, it doesn't seem like anyone cares.
We teleport all the time. Come on, and it's not even on his mind.
Okay. Because that's one of hers. If nobody acts like they're caring, frankly, she's exhausted and too tired to care herself past a certain point.
All right. Well,
Alright, I guess
let's do whatever we do next.
rest, heal.
I need to
Oh,
talk
sleep for
with
500
your grandma,
years.
Lucian. Preferably before she's thrown in jail.
Well,
Why
yeah,
would
the sooner the better, I guess. But I if I know my father, he's ready to move. So make it quick.
So
So I just go over there?
as
I don't have to
you're
ask
walking
for
over,
permission or anything?
you actually see a couple of people take her by the wrists gently and walk her through. You see another like slice of silver break the air and kind of turn on itself and open up into what appears to be an open field outside, and they walk her through.
No, wait! No, wait!
Lucian's father approaches you guys, and so this is where I was going to cut in, because this is it's going to be a bunch of travel crap. He's going to basically put this entire city under martial law. Um,
It was already under martial law.
well, yeah, it is right now, but by different people. um, he's taking her out of there and then taking her to the surface. Um, you know, then from that point, he's going to have a discussion with Lucian about setting everything up for the games and, calling down Zamra and so on. But, to skip what could probably be, 2 sessions worth of, downtime activities. I just kind of paraphrased that in the, in the chat, in the RP chat. So
So they don't respond to Zazi's request for them to wait.
Oh no, not at
They
all.
will have-
No, not at all. They take her away, and you guys don't have the opportunity to see her or really even talk to Lucian's dad again until probably later this evening at duskish. So, but between now and then, you guys can obviously have whatever conversations with each other that you want. Just know that you'll be traveling between here and the Undercity and then the surface and so on. You guys can set whatever scenes you like, but you'll probably be in the company of guards the entire time.
Right, of course.
Zazie would mind link with Kovanen as they're traveling. Kind of. Kovanen?
Hello.
Well, I feel like I need to say this as soon as I can, and I don't want to say it out loud because, people being overheard and all of that. The Scar told me there's a new Veer. And that he's the Kovanen back in Fairhaven.
Oh, yes. Via, he points to the letter, reading, like, tracing some of the words with his finger. Says, following in my footsteps, he's his own man. Yes, I know. We should hurry back so that I can attempt some manner of positive influence.
The Scar wanted me to take care of him. That was my end of the bargain. He specifically said to bind the new Kovanen to the Silver Flame.
Well, this letter doesn't go into quite that much detail, but it did mention that you might be tasked with dealing with him. We will, of course, do everything in our power to find a way around that. Yes.
Yes, to a point, but there will come. I can't exactly say no just to an overlord like that. I can't. Not when I'm indebted to him. Not when we're all indebted to him. If I don't do what he wants with this, it's going to be worse. He's going to ask for more that I probably won't be able to deliver.
Again, my attention is brought to the letter. And help them. There are worse lords than the Scar, to be sure. But if a patron were to supplant the Scar, your friend could escape their bond, though such a pact typically requires a life sacrifice like the one I made with the Keeper. Via seems to imply that you could make a different pact and replace the one that you have.
I don't want any pacts. I don't want to be.
I know, like what would the use be? Replacing one soul would have a pact with a different soul thing pact. I don't know.
I want you to let you know before I told the others because he's is he your Kovanen? Is that the right way of saying it?
He's the next one. I would like to think of him as my own. Though I guess it doesn't really matter. Yes, he is my Kovanen. I want to protect him. I don't want him to know all the things that we have to know, do all the things we have to do. Though it seems like that sort of thing is already being set in motion. Who knows? Maybe I'll just have to release him to the whatever of fate, and then he's bound to an overlord to become a vessel or whatever, and he dies. I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, we should find someone who does.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. And then Zonk severs the connection. Convo
Shrugs
over.
his shoulders, turns his attention somewhere else, so he doesn't have to look at her right now. They carry on. Yes, I suppose whatever things we have would be in the Cathalis estate.
Yes. We will grab our things, head up to the top, and hopefully take off to Fairhaven immediately.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I think that you guys would probably need to get to the point to figure it out first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm saying that we do all the things. We get our gear, we get our stuff, and we go up.
All right. Is that what everybody's
Yeah.
doing right now then?
Yeah, grabbing gear. You said we're in the company of guards, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure if you
we are
guys went
being
to the
ushered.
the main
Oh,
rooms, you could ask them to, give you some privacy for a few minutes if you guys needed to speak before you went topside.
No. Rose is actually going to turn into one of the better sources of palace gossip. Not the best, but one of the better sources. And ask about who is in the delegation that the Larendars sent. She's curious and she is trying to focus on something other than, what just happened.
Sure. Who are you asking?
Like just whatever closest random palace guard is to her. Or one of the maids even. Or butlers.
Yeah, I mean, basically anybody that you ask about this, it's kind of, actually, you know what? Give me a persuasion roll.
Sorry, did you ask
Are we
about
not supposed to know that? Yeah. The Larendar delegation.
Like, yeah, there's the word. Okay.
I
No,
would
that's a
imagine.
7.
I would imagine that she has like advantage considering Lucian is with her and she's talking to Lucian's guard.
Yeah,
I mean, if Lucian's there, then
yeah, you definitely go ahead. Roll with advantage.
Second roll. I'll take the 7. Damn.
All right, the 3. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, basically everybody that you ask, it seems as though everybody's kind of closed-lipped right now with all the movement that's going on, and basically everybody's being ushered up top. Things are being closed off. Of course, if you guys wanted to take have some privacy and speak in Lucian's rooms, that's okay. But outside of that, it seems as though everyone's just kind of being
Just
I
trying
don't
to get
know.
us out of here.
Dutifully
Oh.
trying to get you guys the fuck out of there.
Kavanen exploded like 3 people with booming blade, including his own grandfather. So he's definitely gonna clean up, get a new shirt.
That is a question. Do we have time for a bath before we go anywhere? I want to soak.
We've got all the time in the world.
That's... Yeah, Rose takes care of that at some point. While she's getting her gear together. You know, for stopping yet another incursion, it doesn't feel very victorious, does it?
No.
Doesn't feel good.
No.
Well, I'm going to go think about it on my own in the largest steam hot tub that I can find. Goodbye. Finds the biggest hot tub that he can, and he just floats face down for a while.
You might want to go keep an eye on him, Lucian.
Oh, Lucian's not there.
Oh, where did he say where he went?
No.
I'm gonna let fine.
But so yeah, Lucian would definitely be with Pops, coordinating everything that's going on. And if you wanted to play that out, we could, Lucian. Totally.
Yep.
But let's just wrap up here, and then we'll move on to that.
Yep. That's you guys.
I don't
I
have
thought it was
much.
you talking to
I
your
thought it was
dad.
you talking. Yeah.
I mean,
All right. Go ahead and actually set the stage for this one for me, Steve. How you
All right.
how you see this next phase going here? Like, where are you guys?
Okay.
Where how would you open this next spot here?
Well, I mean, oh, okay, wait. I'm confuzzled now because, I mean, you said that I'm like just kind of following him around. Like, where exactly are you trying to start? Are you trying to start like?
I'm just saying, when would you initiate whatever conversation it is that you want to have with him?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess the first time that he's like finally like stopped. Yeah. So
I would say that-
I'm
I would say that
willing
prob-
to follow him.
I'd say
long
that
as
probably wouldn't
possible.
be until you guys hit the surface. He's going to be basically just corralling everyone. He would go, there'd be pauses at each place that he was going to, and I'm sure he would be making, just small talk with you as he goes about things. He's very removed. You can
Right.
tell that finding that his mom, was kind of pulling strings and setting things in motion that are actually pretty detrimental to everything that you guys have been working for. Kind of bringing back some of the old ways in a bad way. He's really disappointed. Now, obviously, it's his mom, so he's not going to do anything to her, like hardcore, or at least the Calamar wouldn't. But he has her up top, probably under some kind of guard. So, good cop driving by out there. So yeah, but there would be no pauses. He's probably trying to get back to her as quickly as possible.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Lucian would definitely be following him around as long as possible. Because you know, he's still got some unanswered questions that he wants answers for. So, and on top of it, up to this point, you know, Lucian has also been kind of like the point man, the one in charge, like of the initial, uh, you know, citywide, you know,
Oh
what
yeah,
do you call it?
you definitely took charge when he was
Yeah.
kind of falling off.
Right. So I feel like, you know, there's also that kind of secondary, like, you know, thing in his mind where it's like, you know, he's also here because he wants the people to like see his face as well.
You can tell also. Roll insight real quick with advantage.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, nat
That's
20.
gonna be a Jesus.
Yeah. I'll just
And it
I'll
begins.
just open up the book here. I'll tell you everything. So you can kind of tell as he's going about doing things. Occasionally, he'll even ask you to speak to them. You know, whatever. You know, if you're at a guard station or something like that, he'll ask you to go and take care of it, and he'll just watch as you're setting stuff up. He's having very short, you know, tight conversations with you about setting everything up for the games. Occasionally, he'll ask you a question, but you can tell that your presence is really comforting to him.
Right.
He's kind of lost a little bit right now, and he's leaning on you a lot. Outwardly, anybody that were to see him would probably see that same stern, you know, stoic exterior. But you know from, you know, engaging with him that he's kind of holding himself a little bit tighter than he normally would, and he seems to be hurt.
Right. I mean, it makes sense because I guess he and I are the only like of age Cathalis left,
Yeah, you are literally the last of your line.
besides Edithul.
But yeah, I mean, exactly. You are, but your line is the last, I guess I should say,
Right.
of the Cathalis lines. You know, so kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't pause. He's getting shit done. He's ready to fucking clock out.
Yeah. Well, knowing that, I mean, like, you know, of course, like I said, Lucian wants his answers, but with that also in mind, like, I feel like, you know, being next to his dad is probably more important than, you know, than,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're
else.
yeah. He's exactly. Cool. All right. Well, I mean, with that in mind, you know, you guys basically continue to go through the different checkpoints. Full, you know, military accompaniment in force. The Sulatar are flying around, which you don't see underground that often. You know, and the gate is basically constantly in motion as people are being in what is something that's normally a bit more what's the right word for it, has a bit more of a festival air to it. Right now is definitely has a lot more of like a somber funeral-esque air as the procession of people are being guided out. You know, there's basically traffic is being guided. The whole thing is very militant and organized as people make their way through the traveling grounds to the where the games are being held. And there's a somber air about everyone as well. It's not that same feeling that you guys had when you first came here and people started celebrating in the beginning. So reestablishing that is probably going to be really important for the games. But as Zazie said, you know, it seems like some people are going to try to get out here as quickly as possible. We'll see how that goes. So, enough rambling. I think we can open up to the surface, the scene that I have written here, and I'll just go ahead and read that off.
Go ahead.
A little bit of a long pause here. I'm looking for the freaking channel for it.
Oh.
Where is it? RP stage 2. Okay. All right. So the party gathered overlooking the traveling grounds of the gateway and the into the under Obsidian City. So much had transpired there in such a short period of time. It's been less than a day since you guys have emerged from the surface for the ceremonial games. So, and in that, I guess I kind of mean, basically it's been less than a day since you guys killed Vire. There's been a little bit of hustle and bustle. A couple of you guys went to go get cleaned up. Rose, obviously went off to have some discussions and get some information, but that was kind of a dead end. So the games now are not only honoring Erica, but they're also honoring Thalandor and his line, which have been basically cut out of the prophecy, is a way of saying that they are no longer with us. Lucien's family now stands as the sole surviving bloodline of the Cathalis name. Lucien's father strode down the main thoroughfare of the traveling grounds, making the final arrangements before the eve of the main games. He left the party in the care of Lucien's grandmother, who gazed up at the approaching airship. It banked sharply as it neared the harbor at the foot of the thoroughfare, which ended at the main pier of the wharf. As it touches down, the massive amethyst crystal radiating energy into the waters, sending up geysers of steam until the crystals disengage. The ship was then expertly piloted into a massive open slip designed for a galleon of its size. The Aeroners hopped off, dropping bumpers and tying the ship to cleats the size of a man. In moments, the entire operation was complete. The boarding planks were dropped, and the crew was led by Zamra. They began their approach towards the party from a distance, and that's where you guys go.
It's going to feel weird going up again.
It will. We weren't down there for very long, but it's kind of weird to see the sky.
It is. It really left its mark. Well, Lucian, that's your wife. She's alive and well.
Indeed. Yes, she is.
How are you? So, go embrace.
So Zamra is approaching. She is carrying Adithul. Everybody's coming off the ships. It seems off the ship. It seems like everybody feels safe enough to disembark and meet up with you guys. She approaches. She doesn't really say anything. Waits for you to approach her, smiling.
Just sweep her up. You know you want to.
Double carry?
Lucian, Lucian, Lucian definitely hesitates a bit. The realization, as I said before, of his current disposition and his family has really put a lot into perspective. But he eventually will go up and give her a hug.
Yeah, she leans into it, hands you Adithul, kind of gives you a chaste kiss, rubs her fingers through your hair a little bit and smiles and just kind of nods at you.
Yeah. Huh? Go ahead.
She's just like, so. Indeed. Are you okay?
Honestly, not really. Um, this little guy is this little guy is it.
I heard. Briefly, anyway. Your father sent me a message after everything happened, informed me that it was safe to return with a bit of an update, nothing too detailed. So I'd be more than happy to hear your side of the story, and from everyone else for that matter. She looks at the rest of you guys and kind of walks up to you and, gives each of you a hug and gestures off towards some of the larger canopies that are out that, stretched out. One of these spaces ours, or are we just kind of standing here?
I have no idea. We've been in a cave for what seems like ages. I don't even know. I didn't even know the games were still, games. I thought we were just. I don't know. I don't feel like games.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you and the crew are well. Nothing attacked. Take it.
Oh, well, we can discuss that later.
You didn't say no.
There are some stories. There's some stories to tell, but don't worry yourself. We'd all.
Where's Aurora?
Aurora's okay, right?
Oh yeah.
Where's Yulia?
See,
Her.
Yulia has her, of course.
Okay.
You see the people kind of coming out of the ship. On the deck, you see the secondary team just kind of like leaning over the deck. Yulia's holding Aurora, and they're just kind of hanging back up there.
Eli's on the shore, knelt down on the sand with like 2 fistfuls of dirt. He's like, "Yes."
I'll say if you guys want to include them, you
Touchdown!
are more than welcome to do so.
There he
Touchdown!
is. His
Touchdown! Goal! I'm just kidding.
Rose doesn't blame him one bit. But no. All right. You want her first, or should I go get her? Rose.
You can go
backs-
get her.
All right.
I'll stay right here.
Then Rose goes to Helion, grabs Aurora. It's probably the first time you've seen Rose smile in several hours. And she'll return to the main party, though.
Yeah,
With
Aurora
Aurora
is
in hand.
noticeably bigger. By like, you guys have been here for 2 weeks, probably somewhere around there.
Less
She's
than.
now a toddler.
A week. Anyway, I would say
Mhm.
probably about 10 pounds heavier if it's been about a week.
Jesus.
Um,
God, she's ready for
Goodness.
kindergarten.
yeah,
What
able-
have you been eating?
able to walk on her own, speaking small words.
Oh my God.
That
Well.
blood of that dragon, buddy.
Here.
Yeah, it's creepy, actually.
A little bit creepy, but Rose is not that creeped out. A little more concerned.
I mean, who can be creeped
we
out by
definitely need to-
an adorable toddler baby? What's the stage between toddler and baby? I don't know.
Infancy?
Nymph. I'm just kidding.
No?
Now, Zamra, I know you just landed,
Pupa.
but
That's what I was supposed to say. Pupa? Nymph? Anyway, yeah. Yes, we did.
But- do you think we could get to Fairhaven?
She looks at Lucian for a moment, and then back at you. Well, we have a bit of a family obligation first, so Shortly after, I'm sure
Well,
we
I'm
don't.
sure the two of you could attend to that along the way.
No, not
Hey.
like that. I mean, seeing the games, or at least.
Is it
in
really
part.
that important?
She gives you kind of a stern look, and then like thinks better of it for a moment. Perhaps you could be a bit more empathetic towards Lucian and what his family has lost.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Lucian. But still, we
I-
should get to Fairhaven as quickly as possible. Stuff is happening back there, and we need to be there for it.
She quirks a bit of an eyebrow.
She's right. You are right. Also, the sooner we could get to Fairhaven, the better. There are things to attend to. But yes, Lucian, I'm sure you and your father certainly have.
Sure.
Well, they're just things that just should be done. I think.
And
I
my family.
I was actually I was actually going to I was actually going to tell you to just head back without me. I was going to stay. It is, of course, customary for the able-bodied males, including royalty, to take part in the games. So,
Well, I mean, she looks back at the three of you. I mean, I certainly won't stop you if you guys want to go on ahead without us. I'm sure you have means of travel outside of the airship if you wish. I would not be offended.
Well, first off, I have no idea how to get back to Fairhaven without the ship, and I don't know. That doesn't feel quite right to just go back to Fairhaven without you, Lucian.
I mean, honestly, it's probably for the best if you two head back at least.
It doesn't feel
I'm-
right, but it might be what we have to do.
I can't guarantee I'm going to be in any shape to travel. Not by air. Not in my current state.
I would think after what you've been through, you'd want at least 24 hours of rest. Maybe some food and a bit of respite, but I
Well,
certainly.
Okay, well, but perhaps we should. He gestures at himself and some of them, should take a step back. When are the games happening, Lucian? How long do they last? How many of them are there? You know, how long do these very important obligations last?
I mean, it really depends, honestly.
And keep in
there
mind,
are-
they've been going on this entire time since you guys have been back.
Yeah. There are, different events that take place. I mean, I couldn't tell you, honestly. They are going on as we speak.
Would you be obligated to stay for the whole thing?
I mean, it might be kind of weird if I'd, just leave.
I wouldn't want to put you in a difficult position that way in the eyes of your people and your traditions.
Yeah. So, like I said, I know there are plenty of things that need to be done for all our parts, but it is quite important that I stay.
Fair enough. I suppose I'm open to the possibility of traveling separately then. I did want to return to Fairhaven quickly, even before we got here the first time.
Well,
So to
may I interject for just a moment?
yet again.
My family is here.
Of course.
Kovan and Zazie, possibly Rose. My
Right.
family is here. They are here for a bit of a meeting with Lucian's father. I have a feeling that might be cut a bit short. She gestures over to the wharf. You see a couple of other airships parked in the wharf, and even a galleon that is a water-based traveling vessel. So, I mean, perhaps when one of them leaves, you could join them. I could make sure I get passage for you. Likely you would be landing in Shan. You could go via lightning rail, but I mean, certainly that'd be much quicker than waiting for me, or at least it should be. Even by a couple of days might be to your benefit. I could see when that would be
Whatever gets us
possibility.
there fastest.
Sure.
And always in such a hurry.
So, I mean,
Well, I also didn't realize that the Lyrander, thing was here also. So yes, you would of course have obligations of your own, I imagine.
oh no, it's a small business between my mother and Lucian's father. Just our nuptials were kind of part of the agreement. Obviously not between the two of us, but it was a link for them to use for certain transportation of items and whatnot.
The houses, sort of, business.
Exactly. So, anyway, I mean, I'd say the best thing for us to do right now is, Zazie, unless of course you can find some way to travel there faster, perhaps by teleportation or something along those lines, for us to settle in and maybe make the best of it. For now.
Lucian, does your family have magic books in your library? Maybe I might be able to find something there.
You can.
I, for one, have no idea how to do that or how to find that out.
Just pull me in the right direction and I'll look.
I mean, unfortunately, we are. We could. We're kind of stuck out here.
Fuck.
I mean, I could probably sneak you back in, but it would
That's
certainly
fine,
not
I'll
be
just-
able to be
I'll
ordered.
just wait.
All right. Well, perhaps we can ask around and see which members of the Lyrander. Is it a delegation? Is that what this is? What they are? Is that the word for it?
I mean, essentially, it's more mercantile
Okay.
than that at the end of the day, but
Fleet.
yes, it is.
Member of the Lyrander fleet is. We could ask around to see when one of them is leaving, if it makes enough sense.
I mean,
I could just hitch a ride with them back soon.
Sure. Lucian, if you could just take care of Ethel for a while. I mean, the four of you and, Ethel and whoever else from the crew wants to join you could just find wherever it is that we're going to be staying for the next day or so. Or for you to be there, so it might be more than that for us, maybe a week or whatever. But I can go talk to my mother and any of the people in the delegation to see if anyone's leaving sooner, and could, of course, ask for them to give you passage, which I'm sure they would be no problem.
It would probably make more sense for you to ask than for
It
for me to
would.
do it.
It would.
Who am I? Rogare. I don't even know what that is.
Right.
Literally, because it was purged from their memories, probably.
Samra, before you run off, just
Yes,
more out of my own curiosity. Has
Sure.
there been any word from, like, in what he's been up to? Has he been able to find a she?
I do
Or do you
think
not know?
I think there's some communications been coming that have been addressed to you. you can of course go on board and check that out and speak with the Civis officer. But I don't go through your mail.
Encouraging news that it's directed to me, at least.
Right.
Alright.
I mean, of course,
I'll go.
he reads it first, so it's probably not that personal, but you understand.
Alright. I'll pull up my mail then. Figure
Sure.
out if I'm traveling with y'all or traveling with
And of course,
Zazie and
all of you are
Kamana.
welcome to sleep on the ship until, whenever it is that you leave, if you prefer to sleep there versus sleeping out here, wherever. She looks at Lucian. Wherever that we may be staying, I have no idea how this sort of thing actually works.
Yeah, seeing the stars will be a blessing.
Just being
So,
on
yeah,
the
it would-
ground.
The stars would. The stars would actually remind me too much of the weird glowy things in the cave. I do in fact miss the ship a bit. I would rest there, but you of course
Help
rest wherever
yourself.
you like.
You have your own quarters. All right, so if you just give me leave for a little while, I'll go ahead and make
Mhm.
as much of that happen
Granted.
as I can. Thank you. Lucy.
You are quite welcome.
Yes. Yes. All right. What to do? What to do?
Lucian,
Would you like to come with me, or do you want to stay with your friends for a while? I mean, assuming they're going to be leaving soon, I'm guessing you may have a thing or two to discuss.
Yes, preferably on the ship where it's quiet and
that old conference
private.
room.
Sure.
Why am I saying it like it's nostalgic? Has it really been? Have we really been through so much down here that I feel like it's old history now?
I mean, it feels like that to me if it's in a consolation.
Me as well. And I wasn't even with you. Lucian, when I come
Oh,
back...
yes.
That's actually for the best.
Pardon my interruption, but before I go, Lucian, please introduce me to your grandmother when I get back. I'd love to meet her, even though she seems to be a bit of a rascal. Anyway, I will return, and hopefully within the next hour, or maybe 2.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's unpack things.
And scene change. We're in the conference room.
Oh, dang. Boom.
Rose probably made the side trip to at least grab her correspondence that's come in.
Yeah, you can do that for sure. Obviously it's
But-
the captain's deck. It's kept at the Civis station. That's literally in the pilot room. Any sort of correspondence may be put into. I don't know if you have a mailbox for your room. It might be put directly into there.
I would have no idea because I don't even think they were on board when the new rooms were put on deck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, they might not have been finished last time. They might have been finished while we were away.
Yeah,
Ah.
there was that brief little pocket door interlude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was So you guys don't even know about that, but yeah, you can obviously go to them and they'll tell you that oh, it's in your mailbox. Cool. You guys all realize you have your own rooms, kind of built into here. There's doors with your names on them around the walls of the common room. So
Very interesting.
all right, and
Well,
you
it's
guys are
about time.
in there. It's about time.
Well,
Who
here
wants
we are.
to start?
conference room. Put your tokens in the conference room.
Okay.
Okay. Where is my token? Ah, there it is.
Let me pull myself out.
Huh.
And let's
I mean,
get
you already
Aurora
had a
over in here.
copy right here.
Oh.
Which should be in your arms or my arms right now? Or are
Uh,
we
you-
trading off?
You trading off. You had a turn, now it's Zazi's.
We're getting all the snuggles from Zazie and Rose.
Oh my god,
Mhm.
kill it with fire.
Not a chance.
All right. Where do we start? Gods, what a mess.
Should I?
Do we just start at like the beginning of the things that we haven't been able to talk about yet, or the like time wise?
Here, I'm just gonna go, okay? And then if I'm saying something wrong, you correct me. If I'm saying something superfluous, you stop me. Got it?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so you guys know the scar that abides, correct? Yes.
I've met.
Um,
Yeah.
Good guy.
So the first time we went and we met, quote unquote, Lucian's grandmother, the scar pulled me and Kovanen into a sort of separate pocket dimension of sorts, and he spoke with us. Essentially, he said that he did not want to be released, that Veer was down further into the mines, and he offered us a wish that we could use and repay him back with later.
Yes, we know these things.
I wasn't sure if the others did.
Yeah. First time I'm hearing about it.
I used this wish
We set this up.
when you guys were getting beaten up by the Duragar. That was what healed everyone and restored us. I had also asked to be transported to Veer's location, but I guess that was just out of the realm of possibilities, or out of the realm of the power he was willing to grant us. But because I used the wish and I made the wish, I am now indebted to him. When we went back to the temple after defeating Veer, I spoke with him again. We laid down the rules for this pact between us, and one of the thing he wants me to do to repay him is to stop the next Veer. The next Veer is the Kuvanen in Fairhaven.
My
scar-
Kovanen, you've met the young one.
The Scar wants me to bring him to light. He wants me to bind him to the silver flame. Whatever that may entail. He gave me this. She pulls out this black stone, this black like diamond rock cut, thing, and it's like just oozing purple violet light and power. And this is supposed to help.
Am I gonna?
Also,
Am I? g-
to carry off of that point there, Veer left me this letter. Popped it down on the table. First off, it took him a lot longer to get as powerful as we did in a few short years, by the way. Anyway. This is the pact with the Scar, Orders of the Overlords. Yes, your Kovanen has already begun to follow in my footsteps, albeit with no small effort from the family. It seems the family's agents are indeed in Fairhaven, like we had always feared but never quite got around to looking into. They're meddling, they're corrupting his mind. It seems this my young Kavadan has a penchant for the pragmatic, and so he could be led along a similar route as Veer. But it might not be too late. You know, I might still have time to step in and turn him away from that before anybody has to do anything drastic.
I mean, binding him to the silver flame. I mean,
Oh, the
simple.
silver flame is a big one, isn't it? That's. I don't know, it's sort of dawned on me. What?
Rose is giving Kavanani a look. like
Like that's the. Right?
that's.
This
I mean, the easiest way to do that without any harm. Try teaching him to be a paladin. Kind of satisfy
My-
both of y'all's.
I don't know if he has the frame for it, but he could try.
My worry about trying to weasel out of the Scar's wishes, out of what he wants for me, what out of trying to get out of exactly what he wants me to do, is that if I do not fulfill this request as he wants it, he's simply going to make another. And until I can finally fulfill them, I'm basically going to be his pawn. And he said that if I fail, the next request will not be as kind.
So it doesn't sound very kind to begin with, to you. But I'm too late for that now.
So we have to stop the next Veer, which we could do by being present in his life as the father figure that has so far been quite absent. Right? Convince him to not to be that, and then done. There is no next Veer, just the next Kovanen.
Sounds familiar.
That might work for you, yes, but
No,
The scar
then,
was-
then
yeah.
we've stopped the next Veer. Done.
he specifically is asking me to bind him to the silver flame. That is the requirements, that is the duties, that is the thing I am supposed to complete.
So you help me
Trying-
train him to be a paladin. You're a damn good fighter. You're more his frame than I am.
I don't know
Teach
what the
him the-
fuck a paladin is supposed to do.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, I've never really truly understood paladins.
Oh, if he enlists in the silver flame, that would check the box, and then that's fine.
No,
Not the worst idea.
I'm pretty sure that he's supposed to go inside this, and she holds up the gem again.
I'm gonna cast Divine
la
Sense
Overlord.
on that gem while we're talking.
Yeah, it's an empty vessel, but it definitely has a signature that really matches very closely from what you've come in contact so far with the scar.
But fairly neutral to resistances, essentially.
No, I mean I wouldn't say neutral.
Or-
It's the scar, you know.
Yeah, so-
It's that whole patient, passionate rage kind of thing going on. You know, that feeling that he has, that resonance. But it feels just like any other stone that you've used to bind someone in the past. It's empty. It's ready to accept some kind of soul, whether it's a Kyber stone or whatever the heck it is, whatever these things are. It's one of those things.
Alright.
Well, we're going to do everything that we can to find a way to make sure Zazie doesn't have to do that to young Kovanen.
Yes. Just I just don't want you to be disappointed and angry if it turns out that
It's not going to turn out. It's
That
not
it
going to
goes
turn out like
bad.
that.
Well, I guess for the time being, we just take it a day at a time. See what happens.
I suppose we're going to have to. But to the present, Lucian, what do you need? What do you need from me? This is quite an interesting time for you and your family. What do you want me to do? I don't want to just just leave.
Honestly, I really don't know. I can't say one way or the other what I want. What I want, what I need. It's just, just kind of living right now.
Yeah, I get it. All right, well, if you need anything before the time comes for us to leave the city, tell me, and I'll do it.
All right.
Well, what else? Oh, I guess it seems that your grandmother really did send those things. There really was her emblem.
Yeah, I still haven't really been able to talk to my father more about that. But it seems as though she is, if she isn't guilty, she at least is taking full full responsibility for everything.
Yeah, now that's where I'm confused. If she was the one responsible, why didn't she just stall us at the temple?
Maybe she wanted to be caught.
Thing feels weird to me.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. What I wouldn't know, and I have no way of knowing. Well, we'll have to find out from you once you return to Fairhaven. I suppose.
So, what's the plan? I mean, what's next?
I need to speak to. Govanen. I need to know what's going on. I haven't spoken with the lady yet. I don't know if I want to.
You
I'm very
know,
uncomfortable. I'm sure she'll have much to tell me about Kovanen. When to get there, I don't even know.
speaking of talking to the lady, so I mean, I'm not. I don't remember if I told you guys, but when Harad was within my body, I was able to listen to most conversations. I just remembered the lady still wants to talk to, quote unquote, me for so long now.
Does she?
Yeah, you don't remember? She wanted to talk to me privately,
Odd.
and of course, Harad. Oh, that was so long ago for you. I just remembered. Wow. It was mere months for us. Many, many years for you.
Ah, yes. Quite a few. Sorry. So the lady wishes to speak to you then.
I mean, that was a thing. I don't know. Again, I mean,
I know what you're
technically,
getting at, and I know where you're going with this.
right?
The time will come.
Yes, yes.
I'll make sure it's
Uh,
sooner rather than later. Because if not, I'll just fucking forget.
So yes, so there's of course, you talking to the lady and talking to Kovanen. Rose probably finding Lucky again.
Yeah, we'll see. Depends on what his letter says.
Well,
If one of
with
these
his
is
luck,
from him.
he's probably, in jail again.
Ooh, I'm going to go get his letters and I'm going to read them out loud. They're going to be salacious.
You're gonna have to cry 'em out of my hand. Whatever's in this. What is in her hand? Because she just
Oh,
picked
you
up the
already have them.
envelopes.
That's
It's
right.
it's just
You
a
have
couple
good
of
stuff.
letters. It's not like a stack or anything like that.
Just okay.
If
So-
you haven't opened them yet, you don't know who they're from.
Oh, so okay, yeah, they're just dressed her. So, do they have a date stamp or whatever?
Do they
On
have
them.
cologne on them?
I don't think cologne transfers via Simmons.
Lipstick.
No, they've all come
That
in
would be
since you've been here last. Yeah, I'm sure that you could
He
go
gave
to.
he gave the civis officer instructions to like kiss it for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Since he can't send his own lipstick, it's a thought. That counts.
No, but you could probably go and check the logs of when they came in exactly, at the sending station if you wanted to.
I'll just think she'd check the latest one first, if there's a way to tell which one was which. But she will read both of them. So,
All right, and I'll send you those.
pretty sure from context she can tell.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll send you what they say after the session.
Alright.
Nothing pressing though. Just nothing that would specifically affect things in this
The
moment.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it would, but
That's fair.
As far, in my opinion, it wouldn't.
Do we get to fly across the continent again looking for Lucky?
I don't know. That'll be up to you guys when you guys figure out where he is.
Oh, great. The answer's no.
Alright. So as long as she... Is there anything that would concern Rose, even if it's not immediately pressing? I think that's the biggest thing.
Roll a concern dice real quick for me.
Fucking probably.
What would that be, sir?
Con check.
Yeah, I would say there's nothing now that would push you to act on anything in those messages at the time being. Yeah, so there's nothing that would require you to write back or to get back sooner than the as soon as possible. You're already trying to get back.
So, like, just she emotes in appropriate ways. Then I guess.
I'm sure she would still be. She would still feel a level of anxiety from receiving the messages to begin with. Though, I mean, come on, we're talking about a Rose here.
Lucian.
Yes, this is fair.
Lucian. Does
Yes.
it look like she's blushing?
I mean, I can't really tell. She is green after all. But I mean, what does green and red make? Like what color?
She's
You are-
magenta.
You're the
Brown.
artist after all.
She's magenta-ing.
Well then.
I mean, she did swoon a few times.
Yes, she sort of has that earthiness tone.
Yeah. Ew.
She'll tell us what's in them in time, Kawalan says, leaning back to sit up straight in his chair.
Mhm.
Well, if there's nothing else anybody wants to add, we should probably go start taking care of things.
Well, I'm not sure what there is left for us to take care of until Zomra gets back and lets us know what's going on.
I thought Lucian had some stuff.
Oh, well, yes, he probably does.
Oh yes. I mean, the biggest thing I have to do is try to figure out how to how to paint my entire body in just a mirror. He looks over
With-
at Kovanen.
With Zomra's help. Why are you looking at me?
Sarma would be delighted to help you, probably.
Painting you naked.
I think
Yeah, instead of thinking about that, I'm gonna go check out what this new room of mine
Oh,
looks like.
I'm already thinking about it. I'm getting up
We
to.
should- we should probably get some rest. Ugh. I was kind
I'm
of
gonna
looking
be
forward to
fair.
maybe.
To be fair, I've already told you what your rooms look like.
Well, hearing what it is and seeing it are two completely different things.
This is true.
Speaking of rest, DM, what time of day even is it? We haven't seen the sun
Probably,
or the moon.
yeah, it's
or
probably like
stars.
noon, somewhere between noon and dusk. It's eve, eve-ish.
Okay. Alright, so Zarma, there's some time for Zarma to come back and do that, and then we'll think ahead about our future, and then it will be time for rest.
I mean, you guys certainly could take a nap right now if you wanted to. Just get a shorty in, you know?
Will, Connor pushes himself back from the table to investigate his own room.
Yeah. I mean, you guys all decided what your rooms look like, so, you know what they look
Months
like.
ago.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, let's let's take a bio break. Your characters can go check out their rooms, take a short-ish rest, and we can pick back up when Zamra gets back. 10 minutes.
All right.
It's been so many months that it's been years.
It's so many months. It's been years. All right. See you
Okay.
guys in 10 minutes.
See you in 10
You
minutes.
went 10.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I was just listening to the Banga Boys.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
You would.
You know, the Six Flags commercial. That's probably, well, before some of you were born.
With the dancing old man.
Yeah, it was actually a woman in an old man costume.
The character is an old man.
That's true. That's true. It's dancing old man. Yeah. All right. And we're back. So,
Hello? Are we back? Is everyone back?
I don't know if we are or not.
I am. I just have
I'm
rock
back.
candy that I'm eating, and it's really loud.
I'm back. I was just enjoying the rest of the AC until I have to turn it off.
So what you did was you stuck your shirt over the vent, is what I'm hearing.
What?
Sounds like something's muffling the blowing.
Running the AC?
AC. All right. Well, I can't hear it.
Right.
Yeah, because I turned it off.
Shame.
Mhm.
All right. So, I said, you guys could rest until Zamra gets back. So, Lucian, you'll be the first one
Great.
to be awoken, because I'm assuming if you're going to take a nap, if you take one or a short trance, I don't know what you guys do. She'll find you and wake you up, so we can start with her coming into the main room here with Lucian, knocking on doors. Just kidding. Time to get the fuck up. Anybody still there?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
thought we were
you
heading
said
to Lucian
was
and
first.
Yeah, no, like I said, we can start in the room you guys left off in.
Okay. Sorry, you said Lucian was going to be woken up first from his
Yeah,
rest.
you
so
guys,
the rest of us
you
were-
hear a little knock on your door, and as you guys come out, you see Lucian already talking to Zamra. Edithel is there. They're kind of relaxing,
Okay.
having a,
Sure.
surface level conversation.
Hello, Zamra, Lucian, Kavanin, Rose, Irithul.
Bruce.
Aw. Baby sounds.
Do we not describe our rooms? We just skip to coming out of the rooms.
If you guys want to
Let's
describe
back
your
up and
room,
describe
go ahead. Let's do Zazie first.
Oh, me first? Hold on. Do Kovanin first. He sounded like he was
Oh,
all up.
yeah, you're right.
ready
you're right.
for it.
Yeah, you go first, Kavan. What am I thinking? Good call.
We don't ever know what you're thinking.
We're waiting.
Anyway, Kavanin walks into his brand new room that's a pocket dimension stored within the walls of the ship. And Lucian has outfitted it with, of course, a bed, wardrobe, a desk, and a comfortable chair. But full half of the room is his little artist's corner.
Oh,
Of
true.
course, it has the easel, art supplies arrayed on a little rack, sorts of canvases and tools and paints and pigments and pigments. He takes the sights in. He remembers that once upon a time he used to paint, and then he feels very sad. He sits down on his bed. He cries for a little bit. He falls asleep for a short rest.
All right. Who's next?
Rose.
I'm
Or does Ozzy want to say something for a second?
I am trying
Oh,
to find where I
let me
put
just
my
go.
room thing in,
I think it was a creative influence.
but yeah, I'm looking.
Don't
Just
forget
go
to
with
look.
go with Rose. Go with Rose.
So
Don't forget to look
listeners,
in the airship
yeah,
area too, because that's where I put like my stuff for you guys.
That makes sense too. Yeah, listeners, these guys went ahead and all made their own rooms on the airship because they wanted to have like their own little places. They wanted
As you
some
can
of-
see,
different programs.
Rose.
So, Rose's room, like when people get glimpses into it, it's very whitewashed plaster, raw wooden beams in the corners. There's a decent sized bed towards one corner, mainly because she's so massive herself. I have to. I'm just here it is. It's very simple. There's a long, low cabinet against one wall, the entire length of the wall. And cat a corner to that is her altar, the blackwood cabinet. There are some plants that grow along the ceiling, nice and green. It's just very simple and understated, and very much like what she needs to relax. Very clean and tidy. So, like, plenty of space to do a training
Activities.
routine or two, sleep. Maybe ignore Bruce if that's what I'm hearing in the background.
Well, where is he?
I don't know. I thought you were saying something about him. There is a second door in her room that leads to what is probably the connected nursery between her and Zazi's room.
That indeed exists like we wanted it to.
I'm rolling my eyes so hard.
Hey, don't sprain them.
I heard it. I heard it happen too.
No,
I've never
your
heard
loss.
eyes roll so hard.
Yeah, he's gonna have a black eye tomorrow from him rolling him so hard.
I'm
Well,
immune to it at this point.
Okay. And
Well-
Zazie, yeah. What up?
I did find it out.
Mm-hmm.
Zazi's room is a little bit more cluttered, a little bit more packed already, even though she hasn't spent a whole lot of time in it. She's got a queen size, like the one up from twin, like a bed big enough for two
Full size.
people, kind of
mhm.
sitting in the corner with the head of the bed facing into the corner, so it's at kind of an angle against the wall. Next to the bed, there is a desk that is at that same angle. It's not up straight against the wall, it's not perpendicular or anything, it's at that angle. The desk is already filled with papers, pens, pencils, notebooks, that sort of thing. There's a very nice, comfy velvet chair in there next to the desk. There's also a globe with a map of Eberron. Next to that globe is a large mirror that Lucian specifically had requested to be put into the room so she could practice her blade singing in there. On the opposite, from the side of the bed and the desk, are two very large bookshelves. They are chock full with books, and there's some books, trinkets, and whatnot placed on top of them. There's also some rugs on the floor, so it's not just boring wood floor. And there's a very cute-looking plant. And that's her room. She also has that same extra door that leads to Aurora's nursery.
I
can't help but notice you forgot about the bandages.
Oh yes, that's just within all the clutter, somewhere, somewhere in the in the mess.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from these spaces, you guys enter into the common room, and Lucian and Zama are there.
Hello, Lucian. Hello, Zamra. Hello, Rose. Hello, Arathul.
Kavan comes out. He just took a short rest. Still looks weary. Well, hello. What's the... You know...
The Dilio. I mean, the Zilio?
However you want to phrase it.
Well, Lucian, you start, and then I'll fill you guys in on what.
No. Go ahead. I have no idea what I was going to say.
All right.
It's been happening to me a
No,
lot lately.
I spoke with a number of my family to see what they're going to be doing, and it seems as though they're going to be here for a couple of days. So I mean, at the most, you could anticipate being here for another 3 days. I hope that's not too much of an encumbrance for you, but I can assure you that there'll be exit by that time, and I can keep up in contact with them as well to make sure that occurs. And of course, my cousins that own the the brother of a cousin that owns the tavern that you're familiar with in the tower, the Delirenda Tower. His brother is here.
Yes.
So they'll be returning to Delirenda Tower in Fairhaven in 3 days. And it'll take approximately, I think it's 2 days travel to get back, but I can't remember, certainly. Less than 3 days. Look at a map
I
later,
think
tell you. But
I think the only possible way to get you guys back in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, it would still involve me staying here, but I might be able to guide you guys back to Fairhaven from Khyber.
ooh, that gives
I
me a
don't
great
even-
Kovanen, couldn't you take them
For a
back
second, I thought.
through the Dreamlands? I mean, obviously it would take the same amount of time to get there as it would normally if you were traveling by land or whatever, but couldn't you travel there and be there in a couple of hours through the Dreamlands? Even if it only took, even if it took you several days or weeks there, you could be there in... Although there's obviously other challenges there, right?
With
Maybe
Finger up on his chin,
Yeah.
thinking, well, I don't know where here is in the Dreamlands.
Yeah, that's...
Would Daisy know?
Oh, she probably would. She could probably guide me back to somewhere close enough to where the equivalent of Fairhaven is. I've been meaning to speak with Daisy soon anyway about her contact with Katara. Katara
Right.
was supposed to be doing something that would have helped us. We need to link up with her anyway.
She is in the Dreamlands, so... okay. Well, before you guys go on that journey, certainly make sure you let us know before you just exit. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
that could be... that'd be a bit nerve-wracking for us not to know.
I understand.
And
I'll speak with Daisy and see how feasible that would be. Should just be doable. It feels like it's been ages since I've been there.
Certainly.
Well, probably better than just waiting around for 3 days.
Right. All right. Well, certainly take care of that and let us know. And if by chance waiting, 4 days to get back in comfort and leisure is too long for you, then I certainly understand the need for haste. But certainly you're welcome to spend that time with us as well. Anyway, so anyone else? Anything else in particular?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. So, well, like I mentioned before, I think I wanted to meet with Lucian's grandmother, that I've heard so little about, actually.
I look forward to hearing about her and what that whole, whole thing amounts to.
I might. If it's okay, could I tag along?
Oh, of course. Yes. Yes, I think,
That's right. You never got a chance.
Lucine just looks at Rose expectantly.
Name. Yeah. Sure, I guess.
It's all settled then. Let's go.
I will speak with Daisy in the meantime.
Tell her
Alright.
I say hi.
Always. I mean, I suppose I'll walk with you, but I might just have the cat on my shoulder and I might not be paying attention. I don't know.
Alternatively, what if I had the cat in my arms and you were right next to me?
In theory, I mean, that might work, considering it might look sort of weird if you were just randomly talking to the cat as if it's answering.
Nobody can hear me talking to the cat.
Oh.
Pathic.
Oh.
Anyway, Zazie, yes, you may hold Daisy.
Thank you.
How dare I go in between the two of you?
I mean, if you really wanted, you could hold her too. She
Never
is
mind.
your familiar after all.
Never mind, it's fine. I summon Daisy. I attempt to. I reach out. Eh. Took a bit longer than usual.
Daisy!
Just like
How are you, little guy? How are you, little cat?
Daisy's just like hopping on the table, fucking with shit.
Zazie will scoop her up before she can do any actual damage.
She just like reaches out and does the thing where like cats like open up their palm and she like palms your hair. It's like pulls on it a couple times.
I speak to her telepathically. Daisy, hello.
Hi, what's up?
How are you?
I'm great. What do you need?
DM, we are walking, by the way. So.
Gotcha. And then she's not just fucking with
I
stuff.
need. Well, I need to spend more time around you. Again, we talked about that previously. Apologies. Things are so busy and dangerous all the time. I get caught up. It caught up in my work. Were you able to find Kitara?
Yeah, we've had some stuff we're trying to take care of on the other side. It's getting a little ugly over there in the well, the Scion. They're calling it the Scion Sound now. Scion Sea, I mean. Um, it's getting a little wet. Not a huge fan.
Oh, something about a storm. I think that's ringing some sort of bell.
Maelstrom.
Somewhere there's a maelstrom. That's a big
Mhm.
word for storm. That means it's bad.
It's a big storm.
Yes, yes. Wasn't there a storm happening on Eberron on the northern? He speaks out loud now. Lucian Zonra, wasn't there a big storm happening somewhere on Eberron, like really big and bad?
Daisy just gives
I
you.
mean, I
like,
know there was the one.
Good.
The only thing that I can think of was that person Al was searching for. Not Al the librarian, Al the shifter, who was doing things, calling storms and sea monsters and such.
Oh, yeah. That one. No. The only storm that rings a bell is the one we got caught in the marches, though.
Oh, yeah, Oh, well, all right, never mind. Back to telepathically speaking to Daisy. Right, sorry. Well, speaking of the Dreamlands, how are things there generally? Is it safe and feasible to travel across, like travel overland?
Good. She gives you the equivalent of a cat shrug.
Good. Okay, well, they're fine. You know, as long as it's not unraveling again, you know.
Oh no, there's definitely unraveling going on, for sure. Fairhaven has something looming over it again. It's kind of just hanging out there, though. But no, yeah, just north of, well, actually going into the Mournlands, where the Scion Sound is. It's just kind of this massive sea now, and that, the Mournlands is like it's flooding, and we're just trying to figure out what's going on, and it's just kind of scary, and there's a lot.
Yeah,
of
that does sound rather intimidating.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Did you
scared.
post Did you post like a Rebecca news release about the flooding or something? And this is what I'm remembering.
Yeah. This was, but that was like a year ago.
Ah, nice.
Let's check. Let's go back. Go back in time. You guys continue. I'm gonna look it up. Probably in interludes, if I had to guess.
It was either in interludes or epigraphs. I think it was epigraphs.
Ooh, that's true. It's an epigraph.
But yeah, March the 9th, not that long ago. Aftermath of the storms that swept through the Scion Basin.
That's 11/7/23.
As the Scion Basin transforms into the Scion Sea.
Yeah. So here's the first
the
one.
resilience of Mirrodin shines through.
Yeah, that's right. That's the most recent one. So
Mother's
11.
Milk Stout Brewing.
Yeah, 11/7/23 was the first one. Good evening, citizens of Fairhaven and all across the Scion Basin. This is House Civis Radio broadcasting from the Fairhaven Beacon. We will bring you your latest Scion information. The waters of the Scion Sound are rising with the start of the 9th month of continuous rain in the region. Our House Delirander meteorologists have confirmed that this unusual weather pattern is due to a massive hurricane like system over Seer. Anyway, so it basically goes into refugees are leaving the coastal region and they're going into essentially Fairhaven. They got pushed out of Fairhaven, and then you can see they're starting to form up in Veer. Veer is turning into like a small boom town.
We're.
Weir, not Veer. Sorry, I was mixing up the name and the person. Same place, different person.
Anybody else realize that that's also the first time he said that fucking name correctly is by mistaking it for the city?
I know, right?
Yep.
Well, you know what they say: 1, 2, 3, fooer.
Sure.
Some Yankees. That's what I'm gonna blame it on.
Fuck you, Steve. Anyway, so
All right.
what the hell's her name? I can't even think right now. Fucking life.
Daisy.
Life is beating my ass. Daisy looks at Kavanim. So, anything else? Why do you ask?
Well, so that Zozzy and I can travel the continent of counts off on his fingers a couple times through a couple of buttons. Corvair, very quickly through the Dreamlands.
Well, if you were familiar, you could get there really fast.
If I were a familiar,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sorry, am I not able to just, Dungeon Master doesn't come on and have a way to just go in.
Into the Dreamlands? Yeah, the key can take you there, absolutely.
That's what I thought.
But can it take more than one person? Guess we gotta read the rules to the key.
Perhaps
Well-
not in the flesh.
Right, yeah, you guys have to go in the flesh. In the flesh.
Well, there's that ritual we sort of did. That was in spirit. I see
Daddy
nothing
ain't got
about
that
taking
egg no more.
physical form. So in the description of the key, it just talks about the dreaming part where I send my consciousness out there.
Yeah, you'd have to find a rift. Maybe Lucian could find a way through Kyber into the Dreamlands. I don't know. That seems like the most plausible way.
Would something along those lines be in the manuscripts of Zoriat?
Ooh. Maybe. You might have to do some research first, though, before I can actually answer that question.
Okay.
But it's possible. Or there might be
Do
some
have
other
a
stuff in
feat.
there.
Okay, I'm reading some other new stuff. Hold on. Nope, that's the same thing, just in a different place. Okay, we gotta find a rift.
Manifestation zone, if you will.
Indeed. No, Daisy, I am not a familiar. I can only travel there in spirit, or with some, as you are aware, other means of intervention.
Daisy. A book appears in front of Daisy in the air.
Oh.
The pages seem to flip of their own accord. Let me see.
Wow, Kovanin. Is this you doing this, or is Daisy doing this? This book thing?
I don't like your tone when you said that.
What?
But that's fully Daisy doing that.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you're such a smart cat, Daisy. Meow.
I'm not going to tell you what she said.
Aww.
It was very rude.
Speaking to Daisy again, it's just like, wow, all right, book.
Yeah, I'm just seeing. there's anything I can do to help you guys out here.
I mean, Lucian can find portals to things.
I think that seems like probably the best solution here. But I was gonna check real quick. Maybe I could find something. Just give me a second.
But then there's the part. Then there's the part where we have to get out.
Right, but I
That's
mean,
one in there.
you know, there's, you just go through the Midnight Alley. Remember, there's a rift right there.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
I had forgotten. I don't know if I
How
came
could
in
you forget
through
that?
that way last time
It's one of
because
the,
I haven't been there. And
it's in one of the barrels.
look, last time I went through one of those battles was to be chased by the not mayor
Mm-hmm.
with the not mayor, and then sacrifice and then thing. I don't know. That was decades ago.
Maybe you didn't know. I thought you did.
No.
Honestly, I can't find. Ooh, what's that? This might work.
Oh, what is it? Let me know.
So I just need to figure out where that is, because that could be somewhere. That could be the wrong place entirely. Yeah. So there's a way to teleport you to. I think it's in the Dreamlands. Hold on. Yondo.
Hold on, everyone. She's reading about Dreamland's teleportation.
Do you want to ask her if she wants to borrow my book?
So the only problem is if I send you here, you guys, it's gonna be like really hot, and there's a possibility that you could shrivel up and die. So we should probably stay away from. That's not the. Nope, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, Lucian probably has
alright.
the best. Ooh, wait, one more. Ooh, this one's it's a pretty scary one.
Hey, Rose.
Hmm.
You ever notice that when like Kovanen talks to the cat, like obviously we can't hear what he's saying, but you know, it's like he just looks at her so intently. Like it's weird almost.
What's
Like,
the scary
yeah.
one?
Thought of a familiar.
All right. So, to make this one work, we can totally do this. Probably. Oh wait, what happens if it fails? Hold on. Let me read the drawbacks. Yeah. So, Kovanen, you would need to make. You'd have to tap into the Zoriath authority, and just make a painting, but it's got to be like a painting of Zoriathoth.
Oh.
And then if you do, we can do like an 8-hour ritual, and it can take you there. Wherever you want to go, really. You would just pass essentially just through Zoriat.
Okay, that one sort of makes it feel like spiders are crawling up my spine.
Right. Yeah, it would probably cause a little bit of, corruption or madness or something like that. But it would get you there in 8 hours.
God, so we have a boat. We can just fly there if it comes to that.
Well, that's like several days from now.
I know, but
This one seems
I
pretty
don't want to do that
cool.
one. I don't want to do that one. There's I don't makes me feel weird.
So, there's a front and a back, travel through. Yeah, we could take you directly to the Midnight Alley portal, directly through here. For sure. Especially with somebody like
You know, we
Lucian, if it were to help with this. I think that he
Can
could.
it would just like take us right there?
Yeah, it just takes 8 hours of ritual casting.
Rose, why are they looking at me?
You know, your guess is as good as mine. I'm
He does have the,
Not
the
sure.
portal things, and he does, speak through his third eye or
Oh,
whatever. it
you'd
is
also have to make
now
the
and then.
painting though, and it'd have to be really good.
Oh, right. It's been a while since I've painted anything, much less Zoriathoth. I don't know how to paint Zoriathoth.
You don't have
I
to
just
know
let
how.
it,
You just let it happen.
Do I just channel it through? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Do you have any of your old paintings with you?
The old ones. They might be stashed away on the ship, or perhaps in my room in Sean. Oh, that's where they are. That's because that's the last place I painted was in.
Sharn, how many houses do you have? Freaking humans.
Well,
Humanoids.
you keep the company of people like this, and you just find yourself in different rooms.
Ooh, and you have. Hold on one second. Anyway,
I have a lot of brand new painting supplies, though.
talk to your friends and see what they want to do. If they want to spend the next 8 hours casting a ritual spell, we can make that happen. Well, it's actually a formula. Ooh, hold on one second. Let me make sure I read the drawbacks very carefully.
Oh yes, do tell me those.
You guys just talk though. I'm gonna concentrate.
All right, everyone. So there's a couple of options. One, Zelsi and I get plopped down into a blazing hot desert, and we shrivel up like, I don't know, something that died in the middle of the road, and then we just die because it's so hot.
Well,
I'd
obviously, that's out of the
Or
question.
not that one.
No, the other one is I paint Zoriathoth. We tap into a formula, formula, right?
Okay.
And for an entire 8 hours, we do a ritual while tapping into Zoriathothery with our collective third eyes, and
Oh,
it teleports us all the way to this midnight alley,
Oh, the Midnight Alley.
oh yeah, that bar.
which apparently has its own portal or rift to the dreamlands beneath it.
Yes, I remember it well.
explains so much.
What do you mean you remember it well? When did you see that?
I mean,
During the whole
Did I see it?
Fairhaven was dying thing, Sleeper was threatening to be released. Lucian was corrupted. You
Oh,
guys
was
were
I-
off in the
was I
Dreamlands.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I guess that's
Okay, Lucian, Zazie, you two sometimes do the thing with your eyes, right? The third eye.
Yes, I guess I would be curious to see if there was.
What happens if you
Oh.
don't do it right?
You go insane.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Actually.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case when she said that I would have to allow the painting of Zoriathoth to simply just channel itself through me, since I don't know how to paint Zoriathoth.
So I guess,
no.
all right, here's the real question, right? Like, do you want to, like, concentrate and have it go well? Or, like, do you want it to fail? Because, if it goes well, I mean, from personal experience, like, Zoriathoth, kind of just happens, I'm able to, see whatever it is I'm looking for. But if I like, do something wrong, if I, shut my eyes too tight or whatever, then I am its puppet for a little while. So, I mean, so like on a scale of, like 1 to 20, like, are you wanting to, have like 10 and below, or are you wanting to have like 11 above?
Well, hold on. There might be an easier, safer formula.
Nobody's being a puppet for anything. I'll wait a couple of days before someone becomes
Yeah.
a puppet of Zoriathoth.
Koban,
Okay.
Oh.
yeah. The so the backlash is not that bad. It just means, like, do you know how sometimes if you get too much of the Zoriat stuff, you get kind of it makes you kind of crazy. This just makes you kind of like, all right, so like, if you start at like just in the beginning, you get kind of crazy. It's like, oh, you have like a nervous tick or something like that. If you do this one, it gives you like, if you fail, you'll probably be more like, you know, you'll believe something really weird, you know, like the only way that you can survive is if you eat fire every 5 hours, or, you know, that you have to like break your fingers every time you walk through a doorway or something like that. Just, you know, a little bit more severe, but not like absolutely crazy, like you have to murder everyone you see. You know what I mean? So that's if it fails, but it affects everybody. So it would be all of you guys, because yeah, and there's a pretty significant psychic damage toll as well. You know, probably wouldn't
Now-
kill you though. Probably.
Okay, so
Okay,
Can I-
so
can I
she
speak?
says- and then I tell them what she says.
okay. Now, that does sound bad. Those downsides. Should we look through my book, the manuscripts, to see if there is a similar formula that can do a similar thing that would be easier to perform?
All right.
Please help yourself.
Yeah, there's gotta be a much simpler way that doesn't. No. I don't like those states at all.
Okay.
Just gonna point that out there.
Then we'll have to pause on this really quick and come back to it once I'm able to sit down and read the book.
Right.
Well, maybe we could also. We have mages on the ship. Surely they know something, right? And Marin and Eli are pretty smart. Maybe Sprocket. Smartest kid I know.
It might be a good idea to check with them as well.
All right. Daisy, we're going to put a pin in this one for now because that sounds insane.
Literally.
I'm speaking telepathically to the cat. So I know you and Katara are, by the sounds of it, quite busy in there.
Mm-hmm.
I take it that to mean you should probably go back to help her.
Yeah, I mean, like, the sooner the better, but, you know, I don't want to leave you here high and dry, so to speak.
Well, we will pursue a couple of other options, and then probably, I don't know, the end of the day or tomorrow morning or something, we'll
Mhm.
have, we will renew the conversation with you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
There you
so
have it.
yeah, I'm going to go back then, okay?
All right.
Okay, I'll see you guys soon.
Boop, she goes away.
Aw.
Oh,
Bye,
bye, Daisy.
Daisy.
Also,
Apparently the Scion Sea is getting a little stormy in the Dreamlands to mirror whatever's happening over here, up here. She and Katara are doing some special agent stuff to investigate it.
mm. Well, we'll hear about that soon enough then, probably. Alright, where are we heading, by the way, listen? You're leading.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out myself. I'm actually kind of, trying to keep my eyes open for like a disciplinary tent or whatever they're using. I don't know where they're keeping her.
Lucian, yeah, you actually, after some examining things, you see her just kind of hanging out under one of the tents. There are a couple of guards hanging out there, but she's, just out in the open. You guys are on the open field. It's like a little mesa overlooking some of the more jungle area, surrounding that region. Obviously the main area is kind of burnt out. Trees are burned, but as you get further away from that area, it becomes a little bit more lush. And there are some trees and grasses and things like that. And that's where this small encampment is set up. And she seems to just be enjoying the sun and the wind. Though drow typically don't like the sun that much.
Wait, Lucian,
Yes.
how do I address this woman?
Huh.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. I'd never really considered, like, how someone else would refer to her.
I know, I can just. I'm not so in, with you and the family that I can just be like, hey, Grandma.
What if we call her Lucian's grandma? Hi, Lucian's grandma. We got some questions for you, or something like that. Would that be okay?
Happy,
Or would that
I'm
be?
happy to just keep it at ma'am. But if there's like a formal thing that was needed.
I mean, I would imagine that, like, she would tell you, one of those old grandmother things, like, oh, call me blah blah blah, start out as ma'am and see where things go.
Fair enough.
All right, here we are. Hello, grandmother.
She kind of turns her head, allowing the wind to continue blowing her hair, and looks up at you. Good evening, Lucian. How are you doing tonight?
Could be better. How about you, grandma?
I'm doing great and enjoying the weather. Getting a bit of sun for the first time in quite some time. I see you bring your friends with you.
Yes, hello. I don't recall if we actually took the time to, if we had the time to introduce ourselves. I'm Kovanen.
She reaches out to like take your hand. Pleasure.
Takes it, of course.
I'm Zazie. And she'll hold her hand out.
She shakes your hand as well and nods, looks at Rose.
Call me Rose, ma'am. Rose will give a bow unless she reaches out.
She gives you a little bit of a bow back, shakes your hand, and then looks up to Zamra. Zamra looks down at her and, hello, I'm Lucian's wife, Zamra. She's like, oh, hello there, dear one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Grandmother, you met her when we were here for our honeymoon, when we brought the baby down to the waters.
Oh, that's right. My apologies. My memory's starting to go now a bit. But it warms my heart to see both of you again. So,
It's okay, grandmother. We understand.
what sort of questions did you have for your grandmother today? I can tell that you're here. I see on your faces. You have questions. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, have at it then. Don't keep me waiting. Do you think there's any way that you could have these soldiers go and give us a bit more privacy? It would make me feel a bit more relaxed.
Of course. I turn to them. Can you please give us some space? We can handle things if necessary. But please give us some privacy with my grandmother.
Yeah, they, look at each other and then look at you again and, nod and get up and walk away. And they don't walk that far. They're still within where they can see you. The canopies.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, these canopies for the different tents are kind of spread out across this little mesa. You can see the grounds for the games below you guys, but you're kind of on like an arid open space. She leans back in her chair a little bit, clearly relaxing a bit more now that you guys have a bit more privacy. All right then. Have at your questions then there, Zazie, or whoever. I'm sure.
Well, which of us gets to start?
Well, Lucien, I think you should get to start. I'm guessing you might be a bit confused by everything that happened so far. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to... Well, I guess I shouldn't even say that. What questions do you have for me there, Lucien? Dear one, I'm so sorry.
That can wait.
All right then.
That can wait. What?
Who will have the first go at it then? How about you, dear? Zazie, was it? You seem to have that look on your face more than anyone.
Yes. Although I guess, well, could you guys give us just a little bit of space?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Come on, we'll, yeah, shrug. Back off.
Mm-hmm.
Once she's got a little bit of privacy, she'll turn back to Lucien's grandmother. Well, I have questions about the scar.
Oh, right. I figured you would. I don't think you need to have privacy here. I think your friends should know, but while they're away, feel free, whatever.
Do you know anybody who's made any pacts with the scar?
You mean other than me?
Oh, I didn't realize you did. But yes, I suppose so. How common is it?
It's an interesting question, kind of an interesting way to word it as well. How common is it? Well, it's not common at all, considering not many people go down there.
Okay, and you said that you have a pact with him?
Well, my dear, I guess I should say, over time, pacts with the scar are not that common amongst those who speak down here. I don't even know where to begin. It's a lot of family lineage here. But for those who seek power and influence, like the Catholos family, many have approached the scar and drawn by, the promises of his power. I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? What other reasons are there? Marked by ambition and anger, revenge, even. But
Do you know of anyone who's been in a pact with him that's successfully been able to get out of it?
I don't know anyone who would have went into pact with him and wanted to get out of it. Personally. I mean,
Well, add that to your list of bucket list things that you've accomplished.
I mean, my only advice
I don't-
would be is he's very specific about his demands. Just make sure you do whatever he asks. He's could
And if you're unable to do what he asks, how severe are the punishments?
well. That's hard to say. I think that Carlisle could attest to that a bit. The dire,
Well,
quite dire.
okay.
But that was because simply he failed to keep up his end of the bargain. Versus with you, it sounds like you're going to go against the grain.
I might have to. I
don't think that I'm the person, considering you're a friend of Lucian's. I don't think that you and I should really speak of that anymore.
I suppose I just wanted advice from somebody who knew what they were doing.
I am probably the worst person for you to talk to about this, Celsi.
Then is there anybody that I could talk to about this? That you know of?
I don't think that I could direct you to someone if I even knew them. It would not be my best interest.
I see.
I
Well,
can say,
Thank you.
if you are able to uphold his requests in a way that would satisfy him, that the rewards are quite extraordinary.
I don't want the rewards.
Well, to each their own, then, dear.
She'll take a step back,
I should tell
turn
you
around.
before we finish this. I'm going to have to mention this to him next we speak.
The scar.
She just nods her head.
He knows how I feel about the bargain.
I'm sure he does. He's very perceptive. I just wanted to let you know, being in Zols, that you're such close friends with Lucian.
She'll nod, take another step back, turn around, link with Kovanen, and just say, I'm done. You guys can come back.
He doesn't respond, but turns to the others. As you can see, she's done.
We walk forward.
I don't really know what to ask or say. I'm just going to let Lucian have his time with you.
Do you want us to step away, Lucian?
You can stay if you want. I just, like, I don't really know, what to ask, how to ask it.
What do you want to know?
Just why?
Why? Why? What, Lucian?
I mean, why? Why was? Why was Thalandor implicated? Why Carlisle was used?
That had nothing to do with me. Hopefully, your father will come to realize that. But everything that was going on there was all through Carlisle, who seems as though was not Carlisle at all, and Thalandor fell into his activities. I warned them. They took over, essentially, everything that I'd been working on since the beginning.
And what have you been working on?
I've just been maintaining, keeping good on all promises, so we don't lose our footing with the Scar. It's not exactly free, you know, Lucian. What we have.
Right. Grandmother, there is actually something that I would ask you.
Well, come on with
Obviously, you're not going to be around forever.
it. I like to think I could be. I've been around quite some time already. Probably outlive your
Right.
father, and maybe even you.
Well, with the life I live, that is a big possibility. But I guess what I'm rather curious about is in order for the Cathalis family to keep the power that we have in your absence, would someone need to take the mantle with?
Well, considering
Those
that
kind-
your mother is gone, and Erica and Thalandor, I mean, I've spoke with your father
And
about
the
it.
list goes on.
Spoke with your father about it a bit. He doesn't seem to think that it's important to uphold the bargains we've made, considering that his name isn't on it. But I can tell you for sure, if it's not upheld, that all of the Catholic family will feel the effects. So, if I fail, then somebody will need to take up the mantle. Is this something that you are asking for yourself, or? What are you thinking?
I mean, as a, I'm I'm less asking for myself and more asking for the future of my son. And if I am lucky to continue growing a family with Zamra, I mean, in theory, yes, I am asking this question for the sake of the continued line of Cathalis.
Well, it seems as though your father has taken it into his hands to try to set you up in a way that you would be taken care of if the Catholic line were to be diminished. Obviously, the family you're joining now has some interests in what we are doing. So that's something to think about as well. But it seems like you're in good hands if something were to happen. You are with a great family that already has a bit of their own power. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Unless, of course, you want to.
I mean, I kind of turn around and look at Gavan and say, no offense, of course. I admire the family that you are that you are building, strength that your family has, but I mean, we have grown our power for many generations, and
Lucian, where do you think that comes from? You think it just comes out of thin air? You think that it's just from the trades you've made? You think all of the things that you have for all over from Corvair, from all the locations you guys have found for Kyber mines, and all of that is just a coincidence?
so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think then.
Your father knows. He's been working on something for quite a while. Even when he went with the Tzarkans for your mother. It's clear he's been trying to set you up to take you out of this. So, it's up to you. But if it ends, I have a feeling that the rest of what we have will be gone too. So, just something to think about. If you care about the rest of us. She stands up. All right, I'm gonna go find your father. She calls out for the guards. They come back. She reaches over and grabs one by like the crook of his arm. You guys have fun tonight. I'm gonna go find your father and see if he can find a place for me to rest this evening. It's good talking to you, Lucian. It's obviously been a couple of months. Adithor looks great. Zomra looks fantastic. Your friends are wonderful. Just think about what I said.
I will. Just like I said, my biggest concern is ensuring a definite future for my family.
She just nods. She like reaches up and gives you that little face touch rub thing, you know, kind of like not pinches your cheek, you know.
Yeah.
But that like endearing kind of half, you know, single side of your face kind of touch. And then walks off with the guards in the direction where your father must be at this point. Leaves you guys just standing there under the podium, or not the podium, but the whatever the hell those canopies are called. A big one.
Mm-hmm.
Pavilion. That's the word I'm looking for.
You know, I was hoping that she would say, "Hello, Kovanen, Zazie, Rose, and Zamra. My name is..." But she never did. She's still just ma'am, I guess.
Lucien's grandmother.
Anyway,
Wait, what was her
Oh,
name?
I named her in chat. Belladonna.
I always had her name as
well, how do
Alara.
you feel after that?
Well, take it back, Piet.
Are you thinking of her as his aunt?
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. Anyway,
Sounds like a
that's in
dumb
chat
name.
somewhere. And okay.
Well, Lucien, how do you feel after that?
You okay?
Zamra looks at you.
I mean,
What the fuck was she talking about? Lucien, that's not
Well.
okay.
what?
It's not okay.
You're gonna be a little bit more specific than that, right?
I just think the whole.
I think she's probably talking about the part where the family makes a pact and then
Right.
gets power because of it, and now Zamra's going to be roped into that as well.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you, Kuvan.
There's a.
I thought it was pretty obvious.
There's also the part of me offering to give my life and soul to the scars to maintain power
Mhm.
for the
That-
Cathalis.
That part is mainly the.
Oh yes,
the
much
not
more
okay.
specific.
Mhm.
Given that you are.
I can't believe she would even suggest that idea, especially after she was just telling you that your father had worked so hard to get you out of that situation. And now she's like, "Oh, Lucien, your father married your mother, who is a Tzarkan, to get you out of this. But do you care about the rest of us? Like, what the hell is that? She's a bitch. I do not like your grandmother, Lucien. Sorry, but I don't. She did not seem like this when we met her before, and I feel really weird about baptizing my son in that water down there. So, just saying, it's
All right. Well, grandmother Cathalis really has the family legacy big picture thing in her mind, and it sounds like she's just willing to keep it and keep it there and do
Wow.
whatever.
I mean, somebody just needs to protect that woman and let her live another 1,000 years or whatever, so she can carry that burden. Because I don't want that on my child. Just saying.
I
Alright,
don't think
it would be
she
it
wants
would
it
be
either.
Lucien, it would be your decision whether or not you would want to bear the burden, take the risk of whatever negative consequences she sort of implied but didn't identify.
Whew. It's so funny because there's like allegations of my family having promises to dark guards and with the Krakovar and all that, but to have actually met someone in another family that's linked to mine to do that, it's just terrifying. It makes me wonder.
Okay, Samra, I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. I could have sworn your mother was a Kraken. We have all met the same woman, right?
She's a Kraken. What do you mean? Like,
Thought she was a cougar.
that's funny.
That's the real one.
Right. You say my mother is a Kraken? What are you saying?
Yes, what
Are
are you
you-
saying?
Your mother's a
Oh,
very
that's like me
powerful,
saying
scary
my mother's
woman
a
with
dragon.
a.
Stupid idea.
No, I see what you're saying, but no, not the Krakovar. It's weird. It's like it's anyway, not Kraken, Krakovar. But it is related to Krakens. So anyway, in our past, we're sailors and all that. There was allegations of when it's all House Orion stuff because they're jealous of our success. They've spread lies about us having pacts with Krakens or Dark Guards or whatever, Shargon and all that, to put us in the position that we were in. So, but I mean, I've never had any contact with anything like that, personally, that I know of. Anyway,
Yet.
yes. Anyway, can we... She looks back at the baby. Never mind. Let's... I'm glad to see
you
everyone.
need some time alone.
No, I was just thinking, just kind of outgrowing some of my old habits, I think.
Oh. Well, good.
I guess. They say that you're supposed to replace them with new ones. Healthier ones or whatever. I haven't really found that yet, though.
Anxiety. That's a new one.
Anxiety. Yeah, no, that's the habit that I'm trying to correct. Or prevent, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call anxiety healthier.
Right, yeah. So the alternative is grab a bottle of brandy or whiskey and sit in a chair for a while. But that doesn't seem to help you there.
It's worth a shot. A shot.
Or two. Sorry. So, what now? Are we just, it's dusk, it's evening or whatever? We just going to turn in for the night? Or you guys want to try to find another one of those little parties that you guys went to last time? We drinking mushroom
no.
tea and all that.
No, Zazie has some reading to do.
Yeah.
There's no mushroom tea for the games. That was just after the funeral.
Oh. All right. That's good to hear. Okay, so
There are wines though. There are wines and ales and
Oh. I personally
ciders.
think I'm going to take Edithel, and she walks over to Lucian and grabs Edithel, find my way back to the ship, and rest for the evening.
I am going to just walk around the competition zone and just kind of think, I guess.
It does seem like that was the direction that your father went in, so perhaps you can bump into him then. Would one of you be so kind as to walk back with me to the ship so I'm not walking alone with Edithel, my hands
Yeah.
full?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna.
I had planned to go back to the room anyway.
Excellent. All right.
I think I've been beat. Listen, do you want company, Arion, or you'd rather I take back to the ship?
Oh no, go ahead. I don't mind. I don't mind walking around by my own these lands after all.
Yeah. Not sure what it might be, but yeah, you do.
All right, love. I'll see you in a couple of hours or whatever. Just, wake me up when you come back.
All right, I will.
See you shortly. All right, well, let's go. If you guys are in the common room in an hour or two from now, after I put Edithel down, maybe I'll see you there. Maybe not. We'll see.
We'll see.
Mhm.
All right. And everybody makes their way off into the directions. Lucian, you go to find the games. Everybody goes back to go to sleep. And say goodnight to everyone on the internet.
Goodbye
Good night
to
to
everyone.
everyone.